Vox Novus, the new voice. Vox Novus, the new dimension. Vox Novus, thought and movement leaders who will share from their experience and offer tools to help us navigate our rapidly changing world. My name is Victor Furman. Welcome to Vox Novus, the new voice. How do you discover your divine potential? What is it exactly, and how can it heal and improve your life? My guests this week on Vox Novus, David Starr and Francesca Rose, combine their profound spiritual experiences to deliver a transformative guide for readers ready to explore their divinity and heal their lives. David Starr is a leading voice in spiritual consciousness and energy mastery. David's courses, such as the Master's Journey and Spiritual Hygiene, have helped countless individuals unlock their potential and live fulfilled lives. Francesca Rose is a writer, spiritual mentor, OmniSource consciousness teacher, and healer who has dedicated more than 15 years to empowering individuals in self-love and inner alignment. Through her work in the beauty industry as an esthetician, she has helped countless people connect with their inner source guidance system. Francesca lives a life devoted to her children, love, spirituality, and to Source God. She shares her journey and mission to help others find God within, cultivating joy, peace, and spiritual awareness. Their collective website is yourhigherpowerbook.com, and they join me this week to share their book, Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts. Please join me in welcoming to Vox Novus David Starr and Francesca Rose. Welcome.
Thank you. So great to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to start with your independent paths. David, please share with us your early path and how a near-death experience when you were 10 opened you to a deeper understanding of spirit and energy.
Well, imagine when we were growing up, there wasn't a lot of food in the house. And so we just so happened to be down to our last bowl of soup, I called it, and I went down to eat it, but my brother, who was 6 years older and very big, threw me out of the way. He wanted the last bowl of soup, and my head I went Supermaning into the corner of a wall. Everything went black, and I see myself in this celestial cosmos, like very lightly pink and purple, and stars everywhere, and I'm this golden star. And I'm being presented my life. It's like I was seeing this memory before coming in to the world, and I was shown the first 20 years of my life. And at this time I was 10, so of course there was all these screens. It was like movies, displays playing, all these memories, people. It's almost like everything was captured between my father, my mother, my sister, my brothers, and everything going throughout all this. And then from 10 to 20, I saw that as well. And then I was asked by this fatherly voice, which I believe is like maybe the heavenly or the cosmic father, do you want to take this life? And I've said, well, I mean, this is a pretty difficult life. And then he said, well, after 20, it gets a lot better. And it did. And then I came to, and of course, rushed to the hospital. It was a very messy situation, but it gave me a profound knowing that we do choose our lives, or we are presented lives to accept, which is amazing. Like, whoever taught that in any school. And then it also made me have this unique connection with the star energy, the starlight that I am in the cosmos and coming down here on Earth. And then, so these knowings that there's more than one life, and we choose these lives, and we're presented these lives, and a lot of this is predetermined, clearly, because from 10 to 20, I was in constant deja vu. The power of the universe and the the connection and stars are consciousness. Like, what is that? I'm a star, and how? What does that even mean exactly? And these questions guided me eventually. When I was 17, I had my big breakthrough awakening when um, I started realizing that energy, white light, can come out of my fingers, and it was starting to shoot into the heavens. And it was there was this ball of light in my hands, and the next thing you know, from that point forward, I'm getting visited by angels, galactic beings, and being shown how there's a few of these secret societies that have been and I saw their faces, and I even know some of the names to this day. I remember these dialogues that would happen with these holographic beings that would come down and meet energetically, and they would guide me onto the truths of Earth and how humanity was actually being enslaved. And here I am at 17 learning all this, and it was quite surprising. I thought it was a much more positive world, to be honest with you. I didn't realize they showed me and told me how history was rewritten, and they showed me about 100 years of these groups that were manipulating. And so that gave me a whole other impression as well. The end, eventually, through all these different meetings, I learned about oneness, the universal healing. I ended up crossing souls over in my early 20s when that tsunami hit Indonesia, and working and bringing souls into the light. And I didn't even know what's happening, but all of a sudden, the universe is sending me energy from the celestials, and I'm sending it over to Indonesia. And then somehow I see all these souls going into the light, and I'm helping them cross. And I don't even know what the heck I'm doing, but I knew that they were all shocked, and they didn't realize, because this is such a catastrophic quick thing that happened, and they're confused and they needed help to get across to the other side. And so then I knew I had these out of normal gifts, and I learned how to develop them. And now I teach consciousness. I have yearly programs to do retreats with people to help them find the divinity within themselves, and basically speak to whoever it is, their angel guides, their um, the masters, or Christ, or the Heavenly Father, or the Heavenly Mother, or Mother Gaia, and all, or trees, or whatever it is, that to get divine wisdom to help them in their heart, and to break them out of the conditioning and the fear that has been with these, let's say, small groups of people have been trying to program into people's psyches to keep them from coming into their God power and their peace. And so that's sort of how my life's been. And in between that, I had a demolition business and a duct cleaning business, and now I'm full time doing the good work.
And Francesca, please share with us your path.
Hello. Um, I was always like a mystic, casting spells in the backyard at the age of 5. I knew we had magic inside, and I wanted to see mine. It was normal for me to play with fairies and talk to my guardian angel. And at 12, my big awakening came when I saw a little girl ghost floating over my bed, and it flew through my wall into my brother's room. We screamed at the same time. I knew then there was more to life than what meets the eye. And I went to Catholic school, and I had a lot of conditioning. So I wanted to be like Jesus. I really wanted to be a healer, and I wanted to perform miracles. But I also wanted to be like the psychics they said were bad in the Bible, because be careful what you're seeking, because it's seeking you. I was very highly psychic. I would always channel for people without even knowing that I was channeling. I was delivering them messages from God and their higher selves, and I'd always make people cry. And I got into the beauty industry, and I loved it because I could play Barbies my whole life, because I was really into Barbies too. But I got a big following, and people would come to see me to get spiritual advice and to get their makeup and brows. done as well. And everybody that sat in my chair, every woman and man, they would insult themselves and say something negative about themselves. And I just saw the highest good in everyone. So I just told them what I saw. I saw their divinity inside of them. And I realized that I wanted to form a class to empower people to align with God inside so they could see themselves as I saw them. And I was very fortunate to have a very strong channeling gift, and I can interdimensionally communicate with angels and ETs and the divine family. Right now, I've been channeling Mother Source energy, and it's really nice to be able to deliver messages to people when you're in that type of energy. And when I had children, I realized that I needed to have world peace. So I started, instead of focusing on everyone else and learning everybody else so that I can help them, I started really doing that, but also focusing inward on interdimensional travels. And I had big breakthroughs in all the consciousness barriers within myself. And that's when me and David decided to go co-author Your Higher Power so that we could empower people too in finding all their beautiful spiritual gifts that we all house inside, because we house all energies inside, because we're all source creational eternal beings. And I just want to spread that throughout the world, and I do that a lot as well. Every day I post activated messages for people so that they can get in touch with their internal frequency of God consciousness inside.
That's beautiful. David,
Yeah.
you moved from demolition contracting to consciousness training. In a sense, do we need to demolish our limited beliefs to move forward?
It's very symbolic that I did that, and I recognize that there's a very parallel to demolishing the belief systems, like you're saying, and the conditioning, and coming into your self-love. It took me, it was only 5 years ago, well, maybe six now, where the first time I looked in the mirror and I could honestly say, I love you and mean it to the person that's looking back at me. And it was a huge breakthrough. And that was shortly after the time when I left the demolition business. But it is true to come into the new, you have to destroy the old, and just the old is the lower vibrational, the lower belief systems, and self-hate, not liking the way that you look, not liking your life. And there are certain things, that insecurities and things that I also did this deep dive into myself to heal it, or demolish it, or destroy it. But it is to heal it. It truly is to heal it, and that's how you destroy it. But it's how you let it go. But it's very symbolic that I was in demolition and just demolishing buildings and houses, and they would rebuild beautiful things. And it's like the phoenix in a rebirth. And when you do this great inner work and self-discovery and through the kingdoms within yourself, because heaven also exists within you, as well as all these amazing dimensions and realms of divinity. And when you dive into this and tap into that light and energy, a new beautiful thing is made. And when these beautiful things are made inside of you, then you have this amazing vibration and frequency then, which ends up attracting more beautiful things into your life. So it's you're constantly blessed. You're constantly being gifted. The universe is constantly bringing the most rewarding things into your life, between family, friends, love for yourself, joy, creating the life of your dreams, and helping others and inspiring others to find this love within themselves. I mean, I'm definitely living the life of my dreams right now, and I just thank God and all the guides and the teams and that bring us together.
There's an old expression, nature abhors a vacuum. So when you make space by demolishing the old limited beliefs and those things that no longer serve you, you're opening up the possibilities for all this wonderful rebuilding.
Absolutely. And when you go and knock on the doors, they will open. And when you seek, you will find it. And it is true. There's a lot of things in many different religions, but there's core truths. And when you reach out your heart and believe inside yourself that you are worthy of this divinity and you want to find the answers within yourself, you will. It will start revealing itself, and you'll have signs. You'll have people coming into your life saying the same thing and out of nowhere to give you messages. And it's like the divine is like giving them messages to give to you, and you hear it from two or three different people. And that's how you know God is speaking to you. You might see 11:11 all the time. You look at the clock, it's 11:11, it's 11:11. It's the angels. That's the angels looking at you, wanting to connect to you. They are reaching out. So when you start connecting within and connecting to them, so much amazing things begin to happen in your life.
Absolutely. Francesca, what inspired your new book, Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts?
Definitely David. He's definitely my inspiration. When we first came into the awareness of everything expanding, there was like a huge spiritual awakening across the planet. And, David really encouraged me to post what was occurring in my life, the divine things, the telepathic communications, the source channelings. And I really wanted to do this book with him because we both have the same mission to empower people. And what better way than to show them all the beautiful gifts that they already have inside and show them how to use it, because human consciousness is evolving right now. And it's just a beautiful thing when you can go inside and utilize the gifts that you have and use them in the world to raise the collective vibration so that we all can party together as one big happy family. And me and David have so many friends and family that we love, and we really want to get them to their evolved senses like me and David have, because we want them to be on the same playing field as us, having fun, talking to their guides, um, connecting on deeper levels within your heart, and connecting deeper in with God as we do, because life just becomes so beautiful.
David, may anyone who feels called access their divine gifts.
Anybody who seeks will find, and there's no secrets really. It's just there's a lot of mystery when people awaken, and they wonder, well, who am I? What who was I? A lot of people, well, who was I in the past? And a lot of people connect to certain angels. A lot of people connect to certain Egyptian lifetimes, and the truth is, we're all have experienced almost everything, including being animals, all these different timelines, and what the Akashic records of all these past lives also exist within us. So, through so much inner work, consciousness expansion, and channeling light beings who then eventually would visit me and in actual light form, it just validates all the things of the unseen. At first, you never see them, and all of a sudden, they start coming to visit you. And so, absolutely, the kingdoms of divinity are within everybody. And what me and Francesca try to articulate is how what we have learned and how to connect to these amazing beings of love and our angelic guides, and it just really helps and building up heart awareness, getting out of the mind, because the mind has been what has really well, of course, from a technological view, science, and there's a lot of benefits of the mind naturally. But when you start working with your heart to assist you, to guide you, you become into this heart-centric energy of a force that is bringing more heart-based reality into your life. And that's what, in the end, will give you the fulfillment, because you will always have enough when you are living in this heart eccentric way. Everything else is just a bonus of love and experience. And that's the difference of the mind living in the need for consumption, the need to have more, never having enough, never being satisfied. This is the old ways. The new ways of this great awakening that's coming in. It's like, hey, wait, things are happening here in this world that maybe we have been lied to. Maybe it's not quite right. And I'm feeling this divine calling, like, and the more and more people that are awakening are feeling this calling, they will be guided, and there's not restricted access. It's just, well, okay, well, how? How do you find this within yourself? And this is through like a lifetime. And all of these guides that come to myself and Francesca, and all of this experiences, we've just put it together in a book to just to help navigate, whether it is somebody who's just new on their journey or somebody who is well along on their journey, to access this magic within themselves. So it's not that people won't be able to do it. If they want to do it, everybody can do it. It's all within them. We just try to help them connect with some ways to do it. And that's why we came up with the book, Your Higher Power.
Francesca, what is the best advice you can give someone starting out on their spiritual journey?
Oh, there's so many things, but I would tell them this is what I do every day. I enter into the image of the heart of God and I think from it. This matches the reality of highest divine love, and it bursts in the reality that I wish to live in. If someone's angry, I bring the image of them with me into the heart of God, and it helps me to stay calm and centered and transmute their negative energy with the energy of purest love. So it's always staying in the heart and being aware of your connection and witnessing your source connection as many times a day as you can. That will activate your gifts. That'll clear you of any negative density, and it'll really connect you to all the highest realms in existence when you do that. So it's a very advanced teaching, but I feel as though we should start there because it'll break all the consciousness barriers down for them.
My guests are David Starr and Francesca Rose. Their book, Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts. Please share with our listeners where they can get your book and find out more about both of you.
YourHigherPowerBook.com has all of our websites, everything that we're doing. David is offering all kinds of amazing consciousness programs. And we're offering a Mount Shasta retreat, and it's all on there on our website.
And we'll be back with more of David and Francesca after these words on the Om Times Radio Network.
The cutting edge of conscious radio, Om Times Radio, IOM FM. Om Times Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Om Times, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Back on Vox Novus, my guests this week, David Starr and Francesca Rose. Their book is entitled Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts. I'll let either of you choose to answer this one. What do you mean when you talk about controlling and cleansing energy?
David's the pro at this. He teaches courses in spiritual hygiene. So we'll let him answer.
The energy or the auric field that everybody has, it's a quantum energy field that is around everybody, and a lot of technologies out there in science that has shown this field exists, and even reading the magnetic energy that it has, and so when you understand fields, energetic fields, and that we are literally producing energy all the time, and our auric field is an energy field as well. And so what happens, or what can happen when you're out and about, is a quantum entanglement of energetic fields. And what this means is you could be walking within 6 feet, as the auric field is 6 feet roughly in above and around you. So when you're within that range, 6 feet, including driving beside another car, your energy could get entangled with someone else's energy. And if they're positive, it's going to be a positive experience. But if they just had a really bad fight, or they're yelling and arguing, you can all of a sudden take that energy on within yourself, and out of nowhere, you're not feeling good. You're feeling upset about something that you don't even know why you're upset. You were feeling great. And this is this big mystery. And then you psychoanalyze it. Well, what am I unhappy with in my life? Meanwhile, you just got quantumly entangled with the wrong energy. And so the cleansing, and a very easy way to do it, is you could put your hand over your heart and one hand faced up towards the sky, and breathe into your heart into love, and exhale love out of your hand, and intend for it to go all throughout your auric field, and you can clear out the negative energies from these quantum entanglements. One that will hit home to a lot of people who are involved in relationships: a fight, an argument. This kind of entanglement has an even extra energy to it, because it has a coordinating hook into your energy and the person who you are arguing with. And so if you hold on to that, it can keep with you and upset you for a long period of time. But when you clear your energy, you clear that hook, and then you are in your own energy to clearly think, well, why did this fight happen? What are the learning lessons for myself and my partner? And how can we come together so that everybody's happy in a more positive way? But when you have the entanglement of anger and the fight, and they're upsetting, and they're just not listening, they just don't hear you, and then that energy goes to them, and they're feeling that they're not being heard, and their point of view, and it's so this back and forth anger that is. And truthfully, so what is it in the end? Everyone wants to be heard and understood. But when you can clear the energy, then you get rid of the negative energy in your energetic fields, and you have a lot more clarity, and you can solve the issues a lot faster with a clear mind. And especially for people who are more emotional, you will take what would normally be a bad day and turn it into a small little tiny 1 minute or 3 minute moment, because you've cleared the entanglements of the negative energy, and so your quality of life improves. Imagine how many fights and arguments that you've had, how many things of other people's energy that you picked up, and all of a sudden you're feeling depressed. Meanwhile, it's not you, it's the person right across from you. And so when you clear all of this, boom, you're in a good mood again. So like you times this quality of life throughout your entire life, throughout all of your relationships. And I guarantee you it will give you probably a decade of more quality happiness in your life. And not only that, it makes all of your relationships better. You're a better communicator. You feel better about yourself. In my opinion, spiritual hygiene and keeping your energy clear is one of the most important things on anybody's divine journey.
Francesca, in your higher power, you share that we must begin by creating sacred space. What are some of the ways we may do this?
Well, I tell everybody sacred space is a way of life. So it's just really the first thing is really keeping your energy clear by what you're consuming. And I'm not just talking about food, but that's a start. I tell everybody to eat raw foods, things that come from the womb of Gaia, because when you put high vibrational live food into your body, that is going to raise your vibration so that you can attract the more divine energies in. It's a way of inviting them in. Also, the TV that you watch, the people you surround yourself with, you want to only consume and put into your vessel high vibrational things so that your life pictures reflect those high vibrational things. And also, with the sacred space, it really creates a divine environment in which the most divine energies can channel through your vessel. So, really, it's focusing on the energies that you want to come through, because we house all energies inside. And we put a lot of different practices in there, but we talk about when you're going into any area with other people. For me, I begin the day with sacred space, and I ground my energy, and I imagine light roots growing out of my feet, and I wrap them around the diamond light core of Gaia infinite times, and I bring that energy up through my feet, and I cleanse my full chakra system. And then I connect to my pillar of light, and I bring a ball of energy around me, and I invite into my day energies that I want to occur. So if I'm feeling like I'm needing more love that day, I'll invite in more love. If I want to do stuff with my friends, I'll invite in friends. If I want more abundance, I'll put abundance in. And that really sets the tone of the day to attract beautiful things into your life. And that's basically one of the ways we do it.
David, what are some other ways that people can protect themselves on their spiritual journey?
By choosing love and not fear. There is energies that are out there, let's just say, that are not from the light, and it's because humanity makes good and bad decisions. And when I say that, I mean there's blatantly things that people do that hurt other people, and it includes thoughts. Your thoughts actually affect other people, no matter who it is, who you're thinking of. If you think a negative thing about them, it actually goes into them and it stores into them. And when you have your life review, you get to feel all of that, all of the good, all of the bad, and you realize how powerful we all are. At that point, what we're trying to teach is understand it now and keep your thoughts of love. And so when you are thinking of other people, think of them in a more loving way, and then they will receive that into their energy, and it will protect you. When you think negative thoughts, it attracts negative things. And so really, it's about mastering the realm. And we live in a polarity realm. So in order to do that, you must be more and choose more love. Do not choose fear. This is why the deprogramming of the old belief systems is so important. Coming into self-love, self-acceptance, fully embracing yourself in your heart of worthiness, filling your cup to the top, because you can't give when you're from an empty cup. And so you bring in all these opportunities of love into your life and into your friendships and into your relationships. And when you're coming from that place, even if you can get into a fight and still send them love and compassion, then that's what goes into them, and that's what you get back. And so love is the answer in your thoughts, in the way that you feel, in the way that you act, and that will keep is your highest divine protection, as in additionally with what Francesca was saying about being in the heart of God energy.
Francesca, when we were offline for a few moments, we were talking about the wounded child, the inner child. How may we heal that inner child and move forward?
Well, there are so many ways to heal the inner child. It's really going inward to yourself and finding where the wounding is. And I do a process. Well, I did a process. I've done all my childhood wounding practices. I feel completely healed from that. But what I would do was I would get myself in the vibration of my childhood. So I would put on cartoons. My favorite show was Rainbow Bright. And I would put that on and I would sit in that energy of how I felt as a child when I was at my happiest, when I was watching that. And then I would have images come in of where my wounding occurred. And I would really send the wounding love and forgive myself and forgive everybody who ever hurt me. And that was the biggest step when I started my spiritual healing journey. I started with forgiveness because people can only meet you at the level in which you are healed and they are healed. And you're never going to fully heal if you can't forgive everybody and love everybody. And I really look at everybody and I think, wow, that person is me. That's a mirror of me. And wow, that's God. And so I try to see everybody through God's eyes, and that's the eyes of a child. They're pure love until they come into the world and receive wounding. And I teach a lot of techniques in my class about that and just really doing interdimensional travels back in time because we can do that because we can send our energy back in time and send your child love. Send it. You can start from the womb. We send love to the womb to every age from then until now. And I found that to be really healing for my students, and they get a lot of imagery when we did that. And you know, you can ask yourself if you identify a wound like jealousy, you can ask it, what age did this wound occur? And you will get a message from yourself. You just have to listen and be open to receiving the healing because we have everything inside of us if we ask the questions. And there's no one better qualified than ourselves to ask, like, where do I need to heal my wounding as a child? And you will get a response. And then forgive yourself and forgive everything that occurred and send it love.
David, a follow up to that forgiveness. That's a difficult issue for a lot of people. Can everything be forgiven?
Everything can, yeah. It's the way to set everything free. And when you look at life and Earth life in terms of all of the lifetimes that you've lived, you can imagine you haven't been a saint in every lifetime, and you've done the same similar things which you would consider bad to other people that you're experiencing in this life, and maybe you're the bad doing bad things in this life to other people, and it's a cyclical thing. And it is that way until you can heal it and forgive it, release it and come out of it, and then it will leave your energy and you don't have to experience it again. This is why in all of like every single one-on-one session, and I've done thousands of one-on-one sessions, and I go into people's past lives to heal the trauma of that is their most deepest woundings. They always tell me it's like you are describing my life right now, and it's every single one of them. And this is because it has not been forgiven. It has not been healed. And there's this constant loop of you pay back betrayal, or you pay back jealousy, or you pay back. And it's just constant loop. You're paying back and you're receiving, and you're paying back and you're receiving. And the way to break out of that is through forgiveness. And because you release the energies, and it is the tool of the divine that they have given us this gift that we can become free through forgiveness. And it literally heals everything. It lets go of the old toxic energies out of you, and it is definitely the path to ascending into more of what we want, which is self-love, happiness, joy, and positive relationships. It's just that we're not taught this in school. And so we go on and we just assume that people are bad, people are betraying, people are doing this, and it's a cyclical wounding, and it always is, and it will always will be that way until people can break through from that. And the answer to that is forgiveness, because forgiveness is divinity, and divinity does not judge, it holds space for all to be healed.
Absolutely. One of the things that I've done in counseling people who are grieving and people who have attended funerals that I've officiated is that tomorrow is never guaranteed. If you love someone, tell them today. If someone has hurt you, forgive them today. And if you perceive you may have hurt someone, ask for forgiveness today. And in doing so, we heal those wounds and we move forward in love.
Definitely.
That's beautiful. I love that.
My guests, David Starr and Francesca Rose, their book, Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts, will be back with more after these words on the Om Times Radio Network.
Humanity Healing International is a small nonprofit with a big dream. Since 2007, HHI has been working tirelessly to bring help to communities with little or no hope. Our projects are not broad mandates, nor are they overnight solutions, but they bring the reassurance that no one is alone and that someone cares. To learn more, please visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of Om Times Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going Om. My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back on Vox Novus, my guests this week, David Starr and Francesca Rose, their book, Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts. Many of our listeners are familiar with the Akashic Records. You had mentioned them before, David. You offer methods for accessing these. Please share with us the importance of this.
Well, that's a good question. The importance from what I see in the teams of divinity that work through me is to release what no longer serves you. And a lot of it is cyclical and going through past lives. And when you can get to like a root past life, the beginning, the origins of this pattern that is bringing a lot of unhappiness inside of you, emotionally, physically, of any kind of degree of negativity that's coming into your reality, when you go through and you can travel through to the root of that energy or that past life and forgive and heal and clear and cleanse that energy, then it lifts it completely out of your vibration completely. And that is one of the reasons for the past lives. The other is the fun stuff. Hey, what have you done? What have you been? A lot of people love Egypt and they want to go and connect into that timeline. A lot of people love the Christ timeline and they want to connect in to see, were they around that at all? Or where were they and what were they doing? And you end up in a lot of cases, finding out people that have actually been noted in history that you have participated in, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to find that out. One of the things for me that was neat, for myself, I wanted to find out, something fun in Atlantis that I experienced, and then I was brought into the past life, and I was seeing a way of using crystals to bring frequency, and it was creating this huge energy and pulsing by rotating crystals in the sunlight. And so I created that device, and it does exactly as what it was doing in the past life, and it literally does lift up the frequency of the house and provides a lot of amazing frequencies. So you can for inventions in different lives and different connecting with different you can connect to future lives because there's no limitations. And the interesting things have been is I've seen when humanity ends up dialing the future by frequency, different breakthroughs in Alzheimer's that are going to happen, and reasons why, and so you can get a lot of like information that can help have big breakthroughs for science, technology, medicine. So it's really no limitations as to the benefits. And with the connecting to some very ancient timelines, even before Atlantis, like Lemurian timelines, they were in such a beautiful heart oneness frequency. And when you connect to that lifetime, you can end up bringing that energy in, and it benefits your frequency to put you into a more love energy and frequency, so you can actually energetically benefit from connecting to past lives. So whether you're going in the past, the future, there's an abundance of reasons, and it won't be the same for every single person, but for sure the divine standpoint is let go of what's not serving you, come into higher frequencies. But if you're a scientist, if you're writing research on certain history timelines and you want to dive into that part of the past, you can literally go through it because it exists within you and get a whole other perspective of history. And it's fascinating. A lot of stuff that's not even in history books you get to see, which is even cooler. So yeah, it's amazing seeing the past lives.
David, you offer 4 gift activations in your book. Please briefly describe these and how they are applied.
So the gift of seeing, clairvoyance, and tuning in and seeing the light and connecting and seeing the angels, the gifts, and so the gift of sight, it allows you to see in the in-between worlds, the spiritual realm, what is in the other frequencies. There's these other dimensions. There's higher realities, higher frequencies of amazing purity beings that are in crystalline consciousness. You can connect to angels in the heavenly light. And so the gift of sight, the gift of channeling, which is amazing because you can end up speaking to your guides, get these messages that can help you along the way of your life journey. You can be put into the most precarious situations, start talking to your guides, and they give you the higher divine wisdom and guidance to help you make a decision that is going to be much more positive and better in your life, and save you a lot of aggravation. There's the other clair gifts that are activated throughout the book of audience, which is hearing your guides and hearing the messages that they have to give for you as well, and all of the attunements and the angelic and connecting to your higher self. And so we do all of these things. Not a lot of people know they have a higher self, and those that do wonder, well, what is my higher self doing? I need my higher self in my life. I could use a higher self right now. And so we basically go through that so people can connect to that higher self and get that wisdom and that high and merge with that higher self. And then what that does is it brings in these high divine timelines, and life just becomes magical. And you open up to the higher consciousness that exists within you to make these more beautiful reality for yourself. So all of these gifts they're spiritual power, but they're God given. And so we didn't create these gifts. We just figured out how to access them. And that's why we created the book. And we're like, hey, everybody, you can access these gifts too and come into this amazing magical world that of all of these amazing beings, whether it's fairies, whether it's angels, or the Mother, Father, God, whoever it is that you want to connect to, these amazing galactic beings. And like, it's all there and it's happening. And people are starting to become aware of it, but we wanted to write a book so that people can tap into that, because it's just so magical to be living in this divine life, in this divine, the way that you would want to be loved, the way that you want to experience things, with all of the support of all of the heavenly realms, of all the angels, of all the galactics. And once you start connecting in this way, you end up starting getting meetings, and they'll take you when you're asleep, and you all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're on a ship talking to an extraterrestrial about unity and one consciousness, and they're tuning your consciousness and raising your. It is wild what happens once you start doing this stuff. Or an angel will come and start swooshing around and send you love and give you a message. It's just incredible, because you end up connecting to it and accessing it within yourself, and the inner reality becomes the outer reality, and they reach out to you because you are ready for that. And so, yeah, we share it all in the book. It's quite amazing.
Francesca, do these beings have a message for us in light of what is happening around the world today?
Yes. Human consciousness is evolving because the 144,000 frequency of God has been tapped into by more humans than ever before. And our divine awareness is being resurrected from within and spreading like wildfire all over the planet. We're finding our true source beingness and becoming whole again by embodying this frequency, our original state of beingness. The more people that anchor in this energy onto the planet by witnessing it in themselves, in all others, the quicker everyone on the planet will embody source consciousness. And the paradigm can shift into a divine galactic one, where the human mind makes all technological systems obsolete, because the human mind is the most advanced technology in the Godverse. Technology is simply an archetypal representation of what we already are in the creational realm of the spirit world, where everything is first created and birthed through our unwavering faith, belief, energy, and actions and expectations of it. So really, they're wanting us to get into our source consciousness and interdimensionally travel within ourselves to align with our source energy. And everything that I'm told is very empowering, and how amazing source creational beings that everybody on this earth is, and that we're all masters here, masters, guides, angelics. We just house all the best energies, and it's starting to come to life on the planet.
David, what would you like readers to take away from your higher power?
Their higher power, their divinity, their relationship with the light, because it will set them into their true divine self, that which what they are, pure love, and the whole universe supporting their dreams of divinity within themselves, in their life, their happiness, their joy. I just excited for everybody's journey, because it's their own hero's journey. It's their own their own heroes gamos. It's their own union with their God self. It's their own union with the angelic and all the realms. And it's already inside of them. And I am beyond excited for people to find that within themselves, that yes, they are divine and they are pure love. And then once they accept that and connect to it, it'll change their life, and the planet will get better. More unity will happen because people will start realizing that everybody is a divine being and we all come from this unity and love consciousness. So maybe we can start treating other people differently with great honor, with great love and compassion. And I think a lot of the societal programs and support systems will evolve to support everybody financially, to support everybody physically, emotionally, so that they don't have to have depression, so they don't have to have stress, so they don't have to be worried, so they can be in love and support their children, support themselves, and be supported. And these are the things that I see happening in the future when consciousness evolves, as this book is an amazing way for everybody to evolve consciously, and then we rise together and change this planet for the good.
My guests, David Starr and Francesca Rose, their book, Your Higher Power, Accessing Your Divine Gifts. One more time, please share with our listeners where they can get your book and find out more about you and your amazing work.
You can get our book. Everything's on a website we made, yourhigherpowerbook.com. All of our information is on there, all of our websites, all of David's wonderful consciousness programs. We're doing a Mount Shasta retreat. The information for that is on there, and we'll be activating spiritual gifts in person. So everything is on that website, yourhigherpowerbook.com.
David and Francesca, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experience, your wisdom, and your big hearts and love.
Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Truly an honor. Thank you for having us.
And thank you for joining us on Vox Novus. I'm Victor, the Voice Furman. Have a wonderful week.